Greetings and welcome to this edition of
Positronic Hypersonic.
I'm Barry P. Cook, and I want to talk to you about part one of the Doctor Who 60th Anniversary special. It was called The Star Beast. And I don't want to give too much of the plot away, but it starts off with some exposition where we see what Donna went through at the end of her original time with the Doctor, wherein she took in the mind of a Time Lord, which was too much for her. So the Doctor had to erase her memory so that she wouldn't die. After this, the episode starts in earnest with the Doctor meeting up with Donna out of the blue at random. And though she doesn't recognize him, he's worried that if he doesn't get away from her, she's going to recognize him and remember him and die. While he's making his move to get away from her so that that doesn't happen, a spaceship seems to crash. And the Doctor makes his way to the crash site in a taxi driven by Donna's husband, whom Donna has had a daughter with named Rose. When he gets to the crash site, which is being overseen by UNIT, he sneaks in, though I wasn't sure why, because he has a working relationship with UNIT. But he eventually meets up with an official from UNIT and talks with her about what they're dealing with, which is apparently a couple of different factions that are opposing each other. And the ship didn't really crash. It kind of landed after being on somewhat of a crash trajectory. Meanwhile, Donna returns home with Rose, and we learn about how she's been having dreams and how, of like space and aliens and things like that, and of how as time goes on, the dreams get more intense, and how she feels like there's an approaching storm, and that she once had something brilliant but has forgotten it or lost it. We soon learned that there was a survivor from the not crash called a Meep, when Rose discovers it hiding among the garbage cans in her backyard. She hides the Meep in her activities shed, but Donna finds it and starts freaking out, at which point the Doctor shows up needing to see it. Donna's mother tries to keep him away from Donna so that she won't remember him and die, but he really needs to see the alien, so he does. And the alien tells him that he's being hunted by these Wrath warriors who want him for his fur. So the Doctor manages to help the family escape the house into the husband's taxi, and then they take off. But they stop at a nearby location, and the Doctor summons a couple of the Wrath warriors to the site by means of a portal and kind of holds court, where he tells them that something doesn't seem like it's supposed to seem. And it turns out that he was right, and the Meep is actually an evil being who is the last of his kind, bent on just universe domination, I guess. And the Wrath Warriors are trying to stop him from doing that. But the evil Meep takes out the two soldiers and then almost takes out the Doctor and Donna, but the Doctor convinces it not to. So the Meep takes the Doctor and company hostage while it goes about trying to activate its ship so that it can escape from Earth. It turns out that in doing that, it's going to destroy London because of how its ship works. It gathers its propulsion by burrowing 5 miles into the planet it's landed on, or it's on. And this sets off, I guess, underground activity that destroys a certain radius, a 5-mile radius, which in this case would kill about 9 million people, which the Meep, of course, doesn't care about. With the help of the UNIT lady from before, the Doctor and company managed to escape and head back to the ship to try to stop it, which he's helped in doing by Donna, who tells her family to run but goes to help the Doctor. In the process, it becomes apparent that the only way he can do this is by Donna getting her memories back so that she can work on part of the ship while he works on another part of the same ship from across a room that's divided by a transparent wall in the middle of their trying to shut it down. And so he recites a code that gives her memories back, and she's able to help him shut the ship down and save London, but she collapses, apparently dead, just after. When the Meep orders some possessed soldiers into the ship to kill the Doctor, he's saved when an unknown hand flips a bunch of switches on a console outside the ship, which releases the soldiers from their possession and wakes Donna up. And it turns out that Donna didn't die because when she had her daughter, part of the Time Lord energy within her got passed down to Rose, which it turns out has something to do with the fact that while she and the doctor are binary, Rose isn't. And binary was the word that Donna kept repeating when she was first, I guess, joined with the Time Lord mind back when it originally happened. It further turns out that Rose had these same Time Lord memories all her life, but didn't really realize it, even though she manifested this in her choice of hobbies, which was to make little creatures to sell online, which happened to resemble all of the different species that Donna met when she was traveling with the doctor in a shed that resembles the TARDIS. In the aftermath of all this, the Meep is in fact rounded up and taken off to prison for 10,000 years, but not before cryptically saying that it's going to tell the boss that there's another two-hearted species in the universe. Apparently it's got two hearts, as the doctor does. Just before the episode ends, the doctor and Donna decide to take one last trip in the TARDIS to go see Donna's dad, who's living in a home under the care of Unit. But Donna accidentally spills coffee on the TARDIS, causing a fire and causing it to go out of control, which the doctor says could take them anywhere in time and space, which of course is the setup for the next two parts of the special, and that's where it ended. So that's a very, very basic breakdown of the plot. There's a lot that happens, and you've really got to see it to take it all in. But I really, really liked this episode. I thought that it was a classic Doctor story, at least as far as my knowledge of the Doctor goes, which is only back to the Chris Eccleston era. I thought it was classic Russell T Davies. You know, you've got these two exotic alien species in a conflict, and the Doctor has to sort it out, and there's a plot twist, a couple actually, and you know, I just thought it was great. Like the old, you know, I say old, the old Doctor Who that I'm used to. It was a return to form as far as I'm concerned. And, you know, it was just full of great character stuff. I didn't originally like the Donna character, but, you know, she's grown on me. And the scene where the doctor has no choice but to give her memory back, even though it could kill her, is just gut-wrenching. And, you know, just reminds you how great Doctor Who is with David Tennant in the lead role. He's just so great. I very much enjoyed, you know, the resolution that they came up with, which, you know, for why it didn't kill her right away. It was because she passed it on to her daughter. And then you see how her daughter sort of had these memories, but didn't know it, but was, you know, doing things in her life that were because of it. I just thought that was all awesome. And, you know, the scene where they go on the TARDIS at the end, you see that it's been redesigned in this crazy way, and it looks great. And, you know, David Tennant runs around like a kid in a candy store. And it just was so great to see him doing that. Another thing I liked about it is the Meep. I don't know if it was puppetry or someone in a full, you know, costume, like a little person, or CGI, or a combination of both, but it was amazing. That character looked amazing on screen, and it was just very well done. If I had to guess, I'd say it was puppetry. It was just, it was great. It was really well done, and it seemed real, which, you know, is not unique necessarily to Doctor Who. They've done stuff like that before, but this was just on another level. It just looked super realistic, and I really enjoyed it. I do have at least one nitpick, and that's at the end. Donna and Rose managed to get rid of the Time Lord energy so that it doesn't continue to harm them, even though they were spared briefly. The doctor says, you know, it's going to catch up to you and it's going to kill you. And they go, no, it's not. We can just let it go. So they let it go, and they say to him, the reason we know that we can do that and you don't is because we're women and you're not a woman anymore. And I thought that was unnecessary. Like, what? Why did you have to have like a girls are better than guys sometimes moment in the episode? Why was that necessary? I didn't think it was necessary, and it kind of took me out of the story for a second, which bothers a whole lot of people a lot more than it bothers me. And they're gonna use this to crap all over the show. So it's like, why did you put it in there? It's a great, great episode, but they're gonna crap on it because of that one moment. I mean, they're already crapping on it because of the trans character. Like, you know, trans people don't exist, and there shouldn't be any trans people in any shows, right? That's how they see it. But of course, that's ridiculous. And they're going to make hay out of the fact that, you know, there are moments in the story where Rose talks about how she's bullied for being trans, and, you know, which of course is a real life thing, which has every right to be in stories, but they don't like it, so they're going to crap on it, and it annoys me. But at least you can argue back to them, shut the hell up on that one. But you can't really on the other thing, because like there was no reason to do the girl power moment. I didn't think that was necessary. So yeah, that's everything I liked, and the one little thing that I didn't like. And like I said, a brief recap of the plot. You've really got to see it to get all of the nuance. There's a lot of great moments, but I just enjoyed it a whole lot, and you should check it out. I'm looking forward very much to the next two parts of the special. But for now, I'm going to get out of here. I'll be back to review the second part when it's released on December 2nd. Until I return, I wish you peace and long life.